Hey guys, this is Primeval, and I am back with more Cities Skylines. So, a lot of this game does come down to nice traffic management, good road placement, good intersections, and people have been really wanting me to build some roundabouts, and another one of my users, Dan something, suggested an awesome looking GIF of an industrial zone that was being fed by an on-ramp and an off-ramp, but they split off in such a way that the on and offs were separated by at least 2 blocks, and the traffic pictured in the GIF anyways looked really smooth. So we can try both of those. We can maybe set up a second industrial region. Our main industrial region is right here, and by and large it's doing quite well. Most of these guys are level 3. We've got our high-tech gadgets limited, and the nylons galore, which is almost at level 3. Let's see, can I make these guys any happier? They don't have any problems with crime. The fire coverage should be fine for them as well. Maybe they need better traffic, better garbage pickup. And these guys are a little less happy. They seem a little more green and a little less blue, but I'm not sure what they're missing. Maybe they just need a park. We could bulldoze one of them in favor of a park, I suppose. And let's see, looks like my city's key is showing, so let's get rid of that. Not that it's useful to anyone now that it's been activated, but certainly a bit of an eyesore, and that didn't need to be there. Alright, what else do we need? Let's see, some parks. Yes. Let's go and drop a park somewhere over here. Ah yes, those guys need some more recreation. But, I mean, will it count if I put a park on the other side of the highway? I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, I see why it wouldn't, but I have no reason to believe that the game actually does pathing to parks. So let's put in a park in the middle of nowhere, right over here. Maybe it's a little gamey, but I do want these guys to upgrade. So let's extend this out. Well, we don't want anything crossing the train tracks, because that will slow down traffic. Let's see, if we wanted to get there without upsetting the train tracks, we could, and without building out a new line, we could put a road over like this. Let's put in a curve, make that look a little nicer. And then back to the straight road tool. All this just to put in a park that these guys can't actually get to. It is a nice and a large park as well. I guess people might have some fun visiting that. Alright, let's slide this over to, say, here. Good coverage of the industrial zone. And yes, it does make people happy, even though, let's see, how did they get there? Is that within the power coverage first? It is, good. Alright, so how would the people in this office park get to this park here? Not only that, but it's got some pollution overlap, which doesn't make it look especially nice. But they're still happy, regardless. Alright, so they would drive along this path, past the 2 incinerators and the 2 solar plants, over through the city, and they can't go through this highway because this is just the one way. We do have this one-way U that runs through what used to be the new city, so they would have to go all the way along here, up across this bridge, which does have a fair amount of traffic, and then over here. So yeah, definitely not a trek for a lunch break, unless the purpose of your lunch break was to avoid as much work as possible, which is sort of a thing that happens. Alright, let's look at traffic. So first of all, a lot of people want to see some roundabouts. Let's pick a spot where a roundabout might make some sense. So maybe here or here. A roundabout right here could be reasonable. What is going on over here? We've got the cemetery. We do have some extra space And the reason this intersection is so busy is what exactly? They're all trying to split off in either direction. We could try to turn this into a roundabout. We do have the space for that. We could move the park. Probably can't move the cemetery very easily, but we could definitely move the park. But let's see about turning this into a roundabout. Do we have anything else here? Yeah, we can bulldoze a few buildings in favor of at least an experiment. I've yet to build a roundabout, so we'll do that right now. So let's move the park over to here. That does require some bulldozing. Well, let's move the park over here. Alright, so a roundabout. We'll pause the game. I don't want to upset people by not having a connection there. And what's the plan here? Well, first we'll make a circular road. I don't know if it needs to be a 6-lane, since just 3 lanes is fine, since at most 3 lanes would be feeding in. Roundabouts are inherently one way, at least all the roundabouts I've ever seen. Not that I see a lot of roundabouts in Canada. Right, so let's clear up enough room that we can possibly squeeze a roundabout in here, and clear out all the intersections that already exist. Right, so we'll make a circle here, and then have each of the intersections connect in at a separate spot. So first of all, how are we going to draw a roundabout? A larger road, one way. Looks like we don't have... Okay, tree lined one way. 6-lane seems a little excessive. A 2-lane one way, would that be okay for a roundabout? Well, let's go with the tree lined 6-lane circle, and let's see, how's this gonna work? Right here, going forward and then curving around as sharply as possible. Forward, curve, the train tracks are going to be troublesome. We could try building the train in after we build the roundabout. Alright, fine. We'll do that. Maybe direct top-down route view is what we need here. Over to here. Space already occupied by... Is this an incinerator? Okay, so we can move that. Let's see. Right by the airport doesn't look too busy. Drop that there. And is this a one-way? It is not. So garbage trucks can drop off from the highway. That could work out pretty well. Alright, so our 6-lane. It's not even a perfect circle, is it? Alright, so we made a circle, but since this is more just to fulfill our desire to see nice roundabouts, we'll draw that again. Let's see, starting right here. We'll go 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks. 1, 2, 3. And go like this, and then go 1, 2, 3. 1, 1. Well, that looks like 3. That's the same amount. Alright, so a really small roundabout. Is that going to work for us? Distance too short. That doesn't look quite right. Distance too short. So that's maybe too small of a roundabout. Okay, so we'll try 4 clicks out. And so the reason I didn't do too much playing with traffic over the length of my previous episodes is I feel like maybe for the people who building roads would be satisfying, it'd be frustrating to watch someone else build roads, and for most other people the act of building roads can drag on a little bit, and I'm still not exactly satisfied with this. What's the problem here? This guy sticks out a little too much maybe? Let's try this again then. And if we can't get it this time, we'll just have to be satisfied with the sort of oval-y structure that we have here. Alright, so now, if I use, say, highway on-ramps, is this a one-way? It does need to be a one-way, going on and off. It needs to split off. Let's see, is that going to work for me? Okay, well, we'll extend this guy out a little more. So this needs to be bidirectional. Extend out right to here. And then let's see. Does this work? Yes, it does sort of work. So there are no stoplights. So is that a stoplight? That looks suspiciously like a stoplight. So in this game, the roundabouts follow the same rules as the roundabout traffic. So I don't know if this is going to help us. I mean, on the one hand, it is one way, so there's no reason for them to stop. They either keep going or turn. So that should be fine. Now, with this intersection here, what do we want to do with that? We could make that a one-way. Let's have a look at the traffic for this area. It doesn't even need to hook up here. Yeah, it's just... Alright, we'll hook in here. Raymond 182, yeah, a circle tool is probably needed. Especially since I haven't figured out or been playing with drawing circles enough. This is probably a good technique, especially if you're drawing a larger circle. I'm sure you could get a very satisfactory, almost perfectly geometrically circular roundabout. But that's not what we did this time around. Much to some people's consternation, I'm sure. Alright, so how do we want to connect this? That, and then over use the circly tool, and can I hook into this roundabout at all? Okay, so that might cause a bit of a traffic problem. Maybe if I brought this in on an angle. What did I just bulldoze there? Accidentally destroyed a business. Maybe if I just leave them more space. Is that the same as before? I think that's the same as before. We'll try creating some more space already occupied. This worked last time. Right, so connection there, and then if I connect out like this, or like this. Well, I don't think this roundabout is doing exactly what we want it to. Let's see if we can hook it up from here before we maybe call it a day, at least for this particular roundabout. We could also trim it down to just like a 2-lane roundabout, especially if we're going to be using off-ramps for it. Maybe that'll fit things in a lot better. But let's see how this ends up working out for us. So first, off-ramp. Alright, yeah, this isn't going to work. Okay, so we'll go with the 2-lane. This is a 1-way. Let's see if we can draw a better circle here. So 3 dashes and 3 dashes. 3 dashes, 3 dashes, 3 dashes, and 3 dashes. 3 dashes and 3 dashes. Alright, so that looks a little better. It's still not perfectly circular, but it is better. Now, do I want to connect that? So off-ramps still make intersections, so I don't think we have any advantage with that. Although they do merge together quite nicely. Let's see about this. Go straight, but then curve around. And go straightish, but curve in. Alright. Not great, but looking a little better than the first attempt. This is too short. Like that. And why is it telling me that distance is too short when I haven't even drawn anything out yet? Alright, let me connect up. Do this roundabout. Well, let me do it in the other direction, even though it's the wrong direction. So let's see if we can draw that in the correct direction. Yes, we can. Alright, so that's doing what we want it to, or at least it looks like what we want it to. Whether or not the cars will behave in any sort of sensible manner is another question altogether. Let's extend this out slightly to here. Is that going to be too close? Well, we'll fix the railway and then we'll unpause it and see how the cars respond to this monstrosity. Rail. And we'll continue this out. Let's see. Circle tool. Not that much strength. And can you loop around? Yes, you can. Perfect. Alright, so most everything is hooked up that I want to be hooked up. That's a dead end, which I think it was originally. So we have 3 intersections coming into the circle. Once these cars clear out, we can see if this actually worked for us. Once this traffic jam resolves. Alright, so there's another traffic jam over here. Could that be solved by a traffic circle too? Maybe it could. We could have 2 traffic circles, just for the heck of it, right beside each other. But let's see how traffic resolves around this. Looks like they're not exactly doing what we want them to. So instead of going into the circle and around, they curve off here. And then did I see some people going in this way? Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. So, not quite what we wanted. So these guys need to be able to get off without getting in the way of these guys who want to get on. Am I thinking about traffic circles incorrectly? Maybe this off-ramp here needs to be over here instead? That's not going to let these guys have access. So we'll keep on letting these guys run. Why don't they take this route here? Why do they go around the long way? Makes no sense. Alright, so let's bulldoze this. See how they respond to that. Now, these guys are going to be forced to go down here, which will make traffic here better, but it's more like we just erased an intersection altogether. And, oh man, this is not good. Oh, there's a bus stop here. Well, that shouldn't be happening. Alright, so let's, there's a, that is not what we wanted to have happen. Well, let's erase this line and start fresh somewhere, because there's really no reason. Modify line, delete line. We'll put that in later once we figure out this whole traffic circle business. Rathkar asks if we can raise the ramp, and that, I don't know if that ever happens in real life, but that might be what we need to do to force things to work the way we want them to. Actually, now that the bus route is gone, and that extra little off-ramp is gone, cars are moving quite nicely. I guess more importantly, they're just avoiding this whole area. They're afraid of this traffic circle that the city planner has built, claiming that it would provide some efficiency. But really, it's been a disaster. Alright, let's try this again. So we don't want to build that out from here. We want it to merge out at a separate section. As close to there as possible, and then close to here without merging in. Okay, good, so it connects up at a distinct section. And let's see. Can I hook in anywhere over here? I cannot. But they don't need to be attached at the same spot, do they? What if I drop that in over here? Probably won't do what I want it to. Try. That's just bizarre. Maybe it was just some old pathing left over, but several cars have been going off of the traffic circle and then back onto it. And, you know, our one way is going in the right direction. That truck got really confused. I think we need to fix this area too, and I think this bus stop is also part of the problem. Let's look at this. Rosemary Green just wants to get to school, but I'm afraid we've got other plans for this bus stop. Ooh, that's a train line? No, that's gotta be a bus. Yeah, it's an incomplete bus route, so let's fix this. We just need to catch one of these buses. Returning to depot. Returning to depot. I think this bus route is just broken right now, so what can I do? Can I click on the bus stop itself, or do I have to wait for a bus to come by? Looks like I have to wait for a bus to come by. But if the line is broken, then how do I delete it? Is this one of the buses? Yeah, modify line. Let's see, what does the line look like? Delete line? Okay, good. So, I think that got rid of this bus stop. Yeah, we've just got a tree, but I don't see the actual bus stop graphic, and all the citizens are leaving to walk to work instead. My apologies. Okay, so, the traffic circle is working more or less as intended. It's just we've diverted traffic to this area instead. So let's try to fix this circle, and then maybe we'll make another one. Maybe the third time we'll get what we want. Alright, so this intersects, or this traffic circle integrates traffic flow from 3 streets. And so far, if only because of the limited traffic, it's doing a reasonable job. But we've created worse traffic problems over here. Boy, have we ever. And this guy seems to really want, at the very least, to be a 6-lane. We could try putting in a traffic circle and expand this to a multi-lane road. In fact, since this is a bridge going into the new city, have this whole thing be a multi-lane road. And let's get rid of this road right here. That should get rid of the bottleneck there. And now we've got a huge problem here, but would that be solved by a traffic circle? I'm suspecting it wouldn't. Then again, my success with traffic circles hasn't been that great. Alright, let's see how we can rejig this area. We can move some of the parks, extend the 6-lane down this way. This intersection isn't great for traffic. It's not terrible either. Okay, so we've got some problems here with the traffic circle. People just want to get through, they don't care about the traffic circle, and then this intersection causes them trouble. And another intersection here. We have... People just want to get through. Why don't they take the highway? I guess some of them do take the highway. I think the problem I'm having is I don't know where most of these people are trying to go. Because if I did, I could provide an alternate route for the bulk of them. It looks like this road needs to be doubled up. Yeah, we could turn this into a 6-lane road. Alright, will my upgrade tool work here? Yes. Alright, so a little more space for cars, but if they all want to turn in the same direction, that's not going to help us. Alright, so we have in this area now just this one area that's really problematic. And it's mostly because of this intersection. We could open this up a little more. Let's upgrade this to a multi-lane. It's already occupied, including by the metro station. How easy is it to move a metro station? We'd have to reroute all the tunnels as well, which wouldn't be that bad. I'd rather not. Let's see. People in this area want to get onto the road, but do they have to get onto the road here? Rathkar says there's a mod that's a traffic reporter tool that would allow me to see where the individual vehicles are going from. And we could try... Yeah, we could definitely try turning something into a one-way street. Let's see. We want fewer options to join up here. We want maybe to force these guys to join up with the city somewhere else so that these guys don't stop, but mostly it's right here. We could turn this into a one-way. Alright, let's do that. Let's see if that helps. What was this? And add a one-way from here to here. But now these guys can't go in the other direction. Can I upgrade? No, I'd have to plow that down. Let's try this. Let's see if the one-way solves any of our problems. Of course, now the people who want to drive along that road to get this way, I guess they could take the highway. And there are enough off-ramps that should work for them. So we do have some more red areas here as people try to merge in to this area. We could hook these 2 bits of road up. Let's do that. Puts in an intersection, but this road isn't all that busy anyways. Alright, so we've cleared out that traffic, but how are people getting around? And what's the deal with these guys? Well, I don't know. It's probably something that I'd have to think about off stream, because I don't think just me staring and poking at these roads makes for a very good show. Alright, but we did say that we were going to do some other traffic work, so we can either do a whole bunch of bulldozing and run a 6-lane or even a highway right down the center of town here to hook up with the highway to the south. We can do a bunch of expansion off of the highway here. There's a lot of demand for commercial. Let's put some commercial in over here while we're thinking about things. So let's see. There's this park. And we'll put a bunch of high density commercial in here. And we can save this for some more offices. Alright, so we'll get some more growth going there, get a little more money coming in. And then the other thing I wanted to try, besides building a highway in down here, was that industrial zone where the traffic flows for on and off are split over multiple blocks. So, got a rail line here, and I don't think we're going to buy over in this direction. Is that even the edge of the map here? Yeah, so we can't even buy in that direction. So we may as well put a dirty industrial park right up against the city border here. So let's try to make a nice highway on-off ramp connection. I'll also extend the highway down over this way, right to the edge of the map. Start a curve. And then we can go and bring this back. Now that's a confusing bit of highway, but I don't see any complaints yet, so we'll leave that there. But the off ramp we want to try. So the on and off ramp are going to be essentially beside each other. They can feed out at the same area, but either the on or the off ramp will feed into a elevated bridge that splits the traffic off in 2 directions. And actually, the more that I think about it, that image that I saw was more of a gimmick than anything else, because you could just have the on and off ramps separated by several blocks. So it looked pretty sweet. Now that I think about it, Maybe I'll post the link. So one of the viewers on my YouTube channel linked this GIF, which I'm going to post in the Twitch chat, and it looks pretty awesome. But I think the same thing could be accomplished with just 2 on and off ramp sets. I guess it is a little more efficient to have only one highway join junction. Anyways, we'll set up an industrial park over here, and we'll see if the traffic flow is nicer if their on-ramp traffic is separated from their off-ramp traffic. So let's see, how am I going to do this? We'll do the on-ramp, the off-ramp first in the center of the city. So that's sort of going to match up with what we're seeing in that GIF. And this guy can go page down right away. And then it splits off into 2 one-way streets. And let's see, like that, and like that. And then I think they go into multi-lane streets. No, it's extensive use of one-ways here. Alright, well, we can do that. Let's go down like this, and then down like this. Then we'll need the multi-lane streets, or multi-directional at least, and give access to the center like that. Okay, so highway traffic comes off. Maybe the beauty of it was from both directions off the highway, they would feed into the same off-ramp and then get split off. Seems unnecessary, but it did look pretty cool, so we could try to build something like that out. And then 3 blocks away, so let's build this out. Multi-lane here, here. So 1, 2, 3, maybe even a little further. Then they had on-ramps, and in the GIF, there was a bridge that split off and then fed back on. I don't know if we need to do that. Can't they just go directly onto the highway from here? I don't see how having a nice bridge, other than looking fancy, would help things. Well, we'll hook this up with one-ways. Got a bit of a hill there, messing up our perfect grid, which is good. Not a fan. Well, I mean, I am a fan of grids, but at the same time, I'm also a fan of breaking the pattern. Okay, so we've got one-ways along the top that split people off, and then they go in where they need to. And then when they want to leave and get back onto the highway, maybe the beauty was just accessing both sides of the highway. So let's pretend this is a real highway and hook those up properly. That, and now we need to figure out how we're going to arrange this. So people coming from this direction, which at the moment is no one, and we're not going to have a city connection either, so let's not worry about that. But people wanting to get back into the city need some way to curve back around. We already have an elevated highway, so that should be pretty easy. Go underneath the highway and then start curving around. In fact, we'll cross the highway first before we start the curve. And we're a little close to the rail line, which could mess things up, I suppose. Can we get up and over in this short amount of space? Yes, we can. Perfect. Okay, let's start the curve tool. And we can go and meet up. We can use the on-ramp tool. Like that. And then these guys want to hook in as well, and they can hook in the same fashion. And this needs to be a one-way street. Oh, come on, let me do it again. I guess we have to go back a little. Car, see you later. I'm glad you've been enjoying the stream and my YouTube videos. Sorry if today's stream was just a lot of me tinkering with roads, which since I haven't previously been doing very much, hasn't been as smooth as I might like. Alright, there we go. And then we just want to join these guys up with a curve. And probably just do that as an on-ramp. Although I'm not entirely sure what if there's a functional difference between the two. But we've got that. And let's get this going over here. See, page down. Straight road tool. What's the problem here exactly? Is there a pylon in the way? There is a pylon in the way. Ah, that's a little inconvenient. That's okay, we can curve around that. And we'll use the on-ramp right from the beginning. Or at least near the beginning. Okay, page up. Let's see what's the problem here. We'll go straight line tool. Page back down. Right, just a little further and then page up. Too close. Alright, maybe it's because we're coming in on an angle. Let's use the straight line tool. Well, page down. Flash on the ground here. Right up to there. Then we're going to raise up and try to get over train tracks. You can always move the train tracks. That would be the simpler option. But I kind of want to make this work. Too close. Alright, fine, we'll move the train tracks. Around and curve right in there. And then for the train tracks, is there a route that lets us slide underneath the off-ramp here? If I start from the other side... Oh, come on. Not SRF. I will revisit some Civ. Hopefully I'll have time for that in April. And maybe even time for a No Quitters game. But having that 6 to 8 hour chunk of time is hard to come by for me right now. Alright, so I really want this off-ramp to work. Looks pretty nice from this angle, but from above it looks pretty haphazard. And I don't want to have to swing the rail network around in some funny angle, because really, I feel like this should work. It works over here, with a little more space for the railroad. Alright, fine, we'll leave that space. Let's see, is this at ground level? It is. We're going to start curving around. Say, oh, there's a pylon there too. Alright, if I curved under here, yes, that works. And can I still not fit perfectly over the railway? Alright, fine. We'll just put the rail line completely out of the way. And we'll redraw the on-off ramp as well, now that we're diverting the railway completely just for the off ramp. Alright, and we'll redraw the on-ramp a little more sensibly. Use the straight line tool for this. Age up. Age down. Too steep. What is this madness? Too steep? I don't understand. Alright, let's see if we can get away with putting this on a curve. Okay, fine. Have an ugly off-ramp. Or on-ramp, see what I care. That's not going to be good for traffic. But let's actually have people come into the city first before we worry about any of that. So, these guys will need some services. Let's give them definitely a firehouse. And where would we want to put that where it can feed the bulk of the city? The one-ways do stop it from servicing some areas, which is a potential downside. Alright, well, let's put one firehouse on either side of the road here. Sure.